Bitches, we are back! We don't have Katie anymore. I'm really sad. Oh, I miss Katie. Katie was great. Welcome back to Watch Graps on the Nerds.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I was expecting him to say something for, straight away, but he waited, and I was like, "Oh, this has gotten awkward." I have nothing else to say.
You just let you walk a plank in your own, pal. That's all we did.
Wow!
There.
Thanks very much. Thank you so much. Welcome back to Watch Graps on the Nerds Are Us channel. As always, I'm Amy with Jonathan and Foxy, and our special guest this week is
Hi.
DJ.
Is Cowboy Jim West.
Let me look at my notes. I can't find the name at all on this one.
Welcome.
It's this dude. Head of Ring.
I have too
Ring
many
crew.
names. King of the Ring crew.
Yes. Love it.
How are you? How's lockdown been treating you?
Good. I'm all right. I'm fed up of lockdown. I think everyone is at this stage. I've been staying busy, just working out, and that's about all I do for 20 hours a day. I sit in my room.
That's pretty much actually. If anyone follows Cowboy on Instagram, you will actually just see his workout videos. It gets really, really repetitive though.
Yeah.
Change it up. Change it up just a little bit.
It's borderline Corbin complex.
It's starting to get that way. It
Mild
is. It's
version.
very much.
Mild
It's the Corbin complex. That's all
Yeah,
these are doing. It's really sad. The situation. You need to get that checked.
It's definitely paying off. It clearly shows.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Does it? I don't know. I mean, stand up there and just turn around just so we can see before and after. There we go.
I can't show you
Before
before
and
though.
after.
Go onto my Instagram and go a few months prior.
Before and after.
Yeah.
You never know. Actually, we might catch a glimpse of it before in one of our videos because I'm nearly sure you're working ring crew in at least one of these shows.
Yeah, you'll definitely see it.
Almost certainly, yes.
Yeah.
We'll see him getting creamed out by a wrestler being Irish whipped into him. As is the style, as is tradition.
As is tradition.
Yeah.
So let's explain the gimmick, shall we?
Yeah, because we didn't actually pick the gimmick. Our guest picked the gimmick, which was.
So do you
Again, we only discussed this literally. Well, actually, you're going to have to because I know we only discussed this less than 5 minutes ago, and I can't remember.
All right. So the idea behind this one was hidden gems, or rather, matches that have a personal connection to you. You felt that this match, other people may not think this was an all-time great or whatever, but for whatever reason, it resonated with you at the time. So
my match does not fit into this. It fits in as a personal connection, but it is not an underrated match by any means.
That's fine. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, no, I'm
just
saying
more important.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So no one is to at me on that one.
Okay.
Right. Jonathan, I'm going to let you take over because otherwise I'm just going to go off on a tangent and we'll forget to do what we were here for.
Indeed. As much as I love your tangents, Amy, unfortunately we do have guests.
The way.
Yeah,
that is the way.
Yeah. So in any case, I'm going to kick off this round with my, as it were, hidden gem / sentimental pick, and I'm going back to. And again, I always hate doing this when I have new people in and they judge me for how long it took me to get into wrestling. Going back to one of the first pay-per-views I would have watched, which was SummerSlam 2002. There we go. It happens
outrageous.
Yes, every single time. Now, admittedly, I would have been watching wrestling for a good bit beyond this point, but this is one of the pay-per-views I've actually actively tuned in for and was watching. And this is the main event of it, which was The Rock versus Brock Lesnar. Just a match I vividly remember, but you know the kind of way where you remember it so much that you don't watch it again. You're just oh yeah, no, I remember this match. I think did I remember this match? What? Who won? I can't. Yes, I think he won. And then I think oh yeah, no, this match was great. I think. And again, it was one of those matches where yeah, no, I really love this match, but I can't explain why. It was fun.
That happened to Katie on her previous episode.
It did.
Her Royal Rumble pick, yeah.
Yeah, it'll turn out I'm actually thinking of it.
Jesus Christ. That was a fucking clusterfuck of a rumble.
Oh, Jesus.
It was shit.
And
what made it worse is she was like it was so sentimental for me, and I remember she goes, it just has so many good memories and it was a really good rumble. And then we watched it And then we moved on to Foxy's one, and straight away she went, "Oh, maybe this was the one I was thinking of." Oh, I think actually this is the Rumble.
Yeah. It'll turn out I'm
That
actually
just
thinking of
made my
2003.
night.
I'm reserving my right to do that later on.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Lovely
That's
stuff.
fine. I just thought it was excellent. She gave such a heartfelt reasoning for it, and then all of us hated it. And she was like, "It wasn't actually this Royal Rumble."
Exactly. So yeah, I've pinned you all the link in the text there. So and for yourselves at home, if you want to watch along with us here, the link is in the description. So click along and press play when we do. So yeah, just right down there, just down there. Right, we're gonna keep hot dog until you do it. Okay. Yeah, good, grand. Okay, so lads, let's do it to it. So starting on 3, 2, 1, press play. Ooh, Payback's on the network. Awesome. Love Payback. One of my favorite pay-per-views.
Paul Heyman with hair. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, the lesser spotted Paul
They actually
Heyman.
had sets. I miss sets in wrestling.
I
I
completely
actually did
misheard that. I misheard that. So
Sets. I know exactly what you's on misheard it because I said it and I misheard it.
Foxy's dead. May he rest in peace.
I'm so glad you got caught out on it and it wasn't me. I didn't have the coke mustache again.
Yes.
That's still the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I think that remains our greatest
all.
hit of the channel so far.
Amy's spit take.
Remind me to clip that later because that was gas. So
You'll just
yeah,
have
again,
that tab ready to go at any time.
yeah, have it as a GIF.
Amy doing our best Triple H impression.
That's it. Not intentionally either, which is great. The best part.
That's what annoyed me so much about it. It just got me so good though. I remember
we mentioned this the
looking at
last
The
time,
Rock
but I don't
here.
remember The Rock having such a receding hairline.
What are you saying about receding hairlines? I've
But
got
I don't
like
know.
a year left
I don't
with my
know
hair
anything
this
about it,
stage.
to be honest. Not,
Yours
not
doesn't
one
look
bit
as
at
bad
all.
as it normally does though. Like I mean, you look like you've grown hair.
Oof.
Gary
Christ.
looking back and like The Rock now looks like he ate him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually. That's what I was just saying. I was like, I actually remember looking at this thinking he was big. Now I'm thinking, no, he wasn't actually.
No.
I think it makes a big difference when you don't have like bumps and testing to adhere to and stuff like that.
Yes.
In Hollywood, like his body isn't getting a beating all the time either. Is a key thing to
Oh
factor
no,
into.
man, his missus is popping out kids left, right, and centre, so something's taking a beating.
I don't want to state for the record
Thank
that we
you.
would have been given out to for making jokes like that. I just want to state it for the
See,
record.
it's okay though. See, when I make the joke, we make sure it's okay. Also, has Brock Lesnar ever had a neck?
No.
In back in
Oh, he's like
2002.
That is just.
I mean, he has a neck from behind there. The thing I love The Rock, but the thing I always hate about The Rock is his boots annoy me so much.
Because the calves are showing.
Yeah, I don't know why you do that. Like, why would you cut out the?
It's his defining feature, his calves.
Orvin watches jealously.
A young Damien Corbin takes notes. The fuck are you?
I miss about like old wrestling is it's weird saying 2002 is old now, but just
Yeah.
the flashes, the camera flashes.
Yeah.
I feel like they
Bulbs,
really
yeah.
add to the atmosphere.
Yeah.
I remember they added them for like a couple of weeks on TV, and they're fake camera bulbs to make it look great.
It's
But
so weird.
Yeah. But the problem is like the lighting of the arena is so different now that like there's no effect at all because he darkened the crowd, so it makes it just look like there's nobody there except for a few fucking like schizophrenic fireflies, and it just doesn't work. Like,
I will actually say, look at the amount of people that are in the crowd there now. Like that's so weird to see.
And
So weird to see so
I
many
don't think
people
so. I think SummerSlam's
in one
still-
place.
in that context, I thought you were on about
Yeah,
terms of
it's-
draw. I was like,
No, I
SummerSlam
just-
always draws. It's like,
No, I'm actually now that I'm like looking at how like sardined everyone is, I'm like, no wonder we're in the midst of a pandemic. No one there washed their hands. There's
Yeah.
a child sneezing on someone and wiping it. Oh, it's
yeah,
how
there's a
did
reason
the
it's called the
Rock-
WrestleMania flu.
How?
I don't remember Paul Heyman being so active in this. Like, where did he learn to do that? Stop that. Get him off.
He's learned it. He's clearly learned this from Terry Funk. This is Terry Funk's entire fucking like moveset.
Absolutely.
Pretty much.
Look at the state of that canvas.
Oh yeah.
No, that's
What
worn. That
was
is.
before this match? I think.
Was this 2002? Was it Shawn Michaels and Triple H?
Yeah, I was about to say, like, really rang a bell there.
Because we watched that match actually on a previous
first
episode as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fran, bastard, taking match the prick.
We were trying to be nice to our guests, just to be clear.
Nah, fuck that. I'm not letting that happen ever again. The guest picks the same match as one of the hosts and down them to change it.
Change of match.
Shit. I'm jabbing at this. I'll lose. You're fucking Hulk Hogan.
I'm just gonna say I've turned into Hulk Hogan. I'm like, oh, I'm not going over the top rope. I'll be.
Something I forget from watching like current Brock compared to like old Brock is how agile Brock is. Like I know he still does it in like little doses now, but back then I just feel like he was, he was power and speed.
Yeah.
He actually like cared.
I still think he cares. I think he cares a lot more than people think. Like I'm not the biggest Brock Lesnar fan, never have been, but I do think he cares a lot more than people give him credit for.
Oh, I don't know. Although to be fair though, I actually haven't watched I haven't watched WWE in like 4 or 5 years now at this point, so I am quite skewed.
Look at that.
I do like that.
Like, I do think that it's a case of you really notice it when he's putting the effort in. Like he'll pump and sell like a mofo. It's crazy.
Mike Chioda's a referee.
Yeah, it is Mike Chioda.
Yeah.
I've never been so upset at a referee getting released and then so happy to see a referee signed to a company. It was really strange. It's a really weird couple of months.
And he'd always do it. Like he's the one that climbed the cell. Like the Jericho Triple H on the cell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just want to plait his hair.
oh.
Where are you at time-wise? I'm at 6:50.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, grand. Just making sure.
Awesome. I was saying oof because of the dragon screw landing on his own leg.
Yeah. The weakest sharpshooter ever.
Yeah, oh yeah, he has a atrocious sharpshooter. Like it's literally no pressure on that.
No. And yet he's
Like all you're actually
sweating
doing is giving his like
so
hamstring a good
much.
stretch. That's it.
Like, you went from one extreme to another. Like with Bret Hart, you definitely knew he cinched that in.
Yes.
Whereas like The Rock, there's no pressure whatsoever.
Yeah, this is practically knee physio.
Hey, Brock, you want to get stretched out? Sure. My knee's been killing me all week.
So it probably won't come as a surprise, but the reason I love this match in particular was because it kind of introduced me to the likes of Brock Lesnar, who was on the SmackDown brand now at this point. And naturally, because as you may remember, SmackDown being like on Sky One and mostly free to view, like you watch on a Saturday morning or whatever it is. So I was a big SmackDown mark and just didn't even pay attention to Raw, like was not on my radar whatsoever. So it was just really refreshing to like to watch something just like that and just not even know about Raw in a sense. But yeah, like this is like in a way, because when you know about The Rock and then you see someone like Lesnar just like decimate him, really, it's just like it just makes you pay attention, you know?
Yeah. No, definitely. Like, 'cause we also think back then, like Rock was like considered the biggest like star for them at that time.
I
Definitely.
have no memory of this match whatsoever.
Like, come in and just decimate.
Like I actually haven't. Who went? Who actually won this match?
Lesnar won.
Yes. Call yourself a wrestling fan.
I have no memory whatsoever of like half the shit that we watch anymore. Someone mentioned something at an OTT show before, and I stared at them blankly for like 10 minutes because I was like, that never happened. What are you talking about? And then it was very quickly shown to me on YouTube, and I was like, oh, it did. Oh, and there I am. I'm like, oh shit, I was front row for this, and I actually have no memory of it whatsoever.
Are you sure you haven't had like concussions?
I've had plenty of.
That could be the issue. Delayed reaction.
I'm starting to think, and I don't think the alcohol is helping, because again, the only thing I've taken up in lockdown is alcoholism. So I mean, I honestly have no memory of this at all.
Like, think of that. Like, look at this. Like, it's all very different moveset as well.
I was looking at the bear hug he cinched on for him. I was like, you do not see that at all. Like in the last 10 years, like it's mad.
Yeah, the bear hug. Then not only that, he's like wrestling him. He's still holding the bear hug, but then he's trying to pin him with it as well.
I think a lot of it comes down to the popularity and the increase in popularity of UFC, though.
Yeah,
has changed how people view certain moves and things like that.
I think they also kind of perceive Lesnar as this more explosive guy. So if he does like something like a wear down like this, it doesn't make sense. Like if you're going to see a Lesnar match, you want him to yeet people around the ring, and lo and behold, he does that really well. So what's the point? You can do a bear hug when you can like superplex someone into the fucking sun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you miss the days when it was just him and Kurt Angle down in shots of milk and eating cookies backstage? Like those were the golden years. Those were the golden years of wrestling. Man, we didn't know what we had.
Yes.
There was storytelling. There was fucking storylines that actually had a start and middle and an end. All right, now that you've pointed out those fucking boots to me, I can't stop looking at the Rock's fucking calves.
I've been the same way.
You fucking dick! You couldn't have waited until the end. I'm literally just looking at it and I'm like, yeah, actually, why does he have wrestling boots like this?
He's always had them. I think the one time he didn't was when he was Rocky Maivia, and he had like the tassels on the back as opposed to like the calf
Bring back
cutouts.
the tassels. That's another thing that's missing from wrestling nowadays. Wrestling nowadays.
The Young Bucks do it.
Yeah.
That's what's missing from wrestling nowadays. Tassels.
Just skips over them. That's it. Nope, they don't exist.
Do you know what made it even worse? I've also met them and they were in tassels and I have
no memory of them.
Actually, to be fair, I only have one memory of that show and it is not a good memory.
Tyler Breeze as well.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah.
Tyler Breeze. Yeah, he had tassels.
I pointed this out. I have not watched WWE in the last 4 or 5 years, so I actually cannot remember.
So you'll remember his NXT main event run where he had tassels on his boots. Just about
I don't think I ever watched it.
Years ago.
I didn't watch it.
Jesus
God. Live wrestling ruined it for me. I can't watch wrestling on TV anymore. It's just like,
do you know what?
I just find it shit.
Rock with hair is so much not as badass as Rock without hair. Yeah. Rock without hair is like 10 times more badass.
Yeah, it's like an evolution.
I find it.
Plus, he got younger when he shaved it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rock without hair and like a French bulldog underneath his arm is the most badass thing you will ever see. Because like, did you ever see the picture he had on Instagram where he had one of the dog, like he had the dog and he had just like a chain around his neck? I'm like thinking, it shouldn't work, but it does. There you go.
Like people always give him a stick about like, remember the old photo of him back in the day?
Yeah, with
and he was a
chain.
butch lesbian.
He now had, that was a Thanksgiving float this year.
Oh.
That is an actual thing that happened this year.
I love a good catapult. Not enough catapults done these days.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what you need to do when wrestling gets back to normal, Jim, is to bring catapults back.
Oh, yeah, I'll bring them back. Don't you worry.
Who's the best person to start to do the catapult? I think like you need to. Liam Royal would do a good catapult. I think.
I don't know, because I think it has to be someone who isn't too big. Do you know what I mean? Like he's tall. Like it might be hard. You need someone who's like kind of bouncer. You need bouncer.
Bonesaw be bonesaw
doing catapults.
Yeah.
Bonesaw's big and strong, but he's not like the tallest dude on like the OTT roster. So I think it'd be good.
That'd be decent, yeah.
Bonesaw, if you're watching,
We'll talk business. Let's bring catapults back into
talk
wrestling.
business.
Right, we need catapults. We need back rakes. Right, that's a big one. Right. What else do we need? Ooh. Chop blocks. I think we need more chop
gimmick
blocks.
wrestlers.
Yeah.
We need more gimmick wrestlers.
I've had enough chop blocks in my life. Too much chop blocks. The Usos love a chop block. Although,
they do actually,
fair,
right, yeah.
They've been they haven't really done them
too.
since Jimmy's been injured. But whenever they're tagging, they always do chop blocks.
I wonder why like The Rock is so popular. But like he doesn't have the best moveset, but somehow he makes you feel good work.
It's the stuff like this now where you can see he's talking to himself. He's like, "Oh, how the hell am I gonna beat this guy?" Like it's the small things that like people love. It's not the big flashy moves or like you know, like he doesn't do anything ridiculously that like another wrestler couldn't do. It's just
it's just him. It's just him.
It's the smolder.
It is. It's actually
Even the switch there between like
come back to me on that one.
Ultimate confidence, and then the moment he gets caught, he's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. Has anyone noticed that Amy's screen is like steamed up, or is it just me? Or is it my imagination? It just seems to have got really foggy over there.
Vape. It's just the vape.
Sure,
Promise.
it's the vape. It's the vape. I was gonna say something else. No, can't do that.
You will not.
Do you remember that in there? Jersey in there. I'm just thinking. I feel like I'm in a. I know. Oh, you naughty. You naughty.
Jesus Christ! I have to jump over my fourth fucking ad break here. Jesus wept.
Same.
I paid for YouTube Premium.
Yeah, actually, I'm actually saying to you, I haven't had an ad either, and I do not pay for premium.
Do you use ad blocker?
I have ad blocker on my phone. That's why.
Oh.
Yeah. No. My problem is I'm on a channel that doesn't have the YouTube Premium, but I have one on another one. It's weird.
Well, I'll tell you what. Me and Cowboy will let you know when the match is over. He sells quite well, actually. That's the thing as well. Like The Rock actually sells. Like he doesn't.
I love like the unpredictability and stuff. Like you think he's gonna hit the people's elbow there. My favorite thing is when it gets cut off because like it was so like rare that you'd see that.
This is another thing that I miss actually. When finishers were the finishers. Like when someone hit a finisher, right? You knew like the end of a match was coming.
Yeah.
That was something I really miss.
Like the counter the rock bottom into the F5.
I think that's down to like if you're saying you go to a lot of live shows, it's down to people protecting their own finishers though.
Yeah. Like
I mean like when you're watching it on TV, like you will watch. There'll be numerous like finishers. And I actually just thinking like one of the most recent. What was one of the last low blows parties I went to, and I remember it was like I think Brock hit like 5 F5s.
Oh, he was the one on Rollins probably, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I understand what you're doing here, and I know I want Rollins to win this, but I'm like, stop hitting the finisher. Like, it's meant to be a finisher. It's a finisher for a fucking reason. And then Seth won anyway, and then I didn't give a shit anymore, and I was like, I don't care. I can go home happy now. I wish I went home after that match. Jesus Christ, that was a fucking long night.
That's Payback is coming August 30th.
We've got them missing it, lads. It's August 30th. Shite.
Something tells me if we pay the $9.99, we can actually go and watch it back. Or someone here gets it. If someone here gets it, can you just like send me your login details?
That's illegal.
Support the channel is the best way you can, lads. The free
WWE
subscription.
I'll throw in a spice bag and a can of Coke.
Amy's rates are very obscenely reasonable. As it turns out.
I just realized I don't think any of you were in the forum when that joke was appreciated.
No, I don't think. No, it just looks like you're desperate for a spice bag.
I love a spice bag.
Yeah,
So,
we
I'm
all
really
would.
hungry now.
So let's give our scores then.
Brock Lesnar.
Hmm.
Actually, a better match than I remembered. Like very good back and forward. Like The Rock is definitely trying to establish Brock as the next big thing as they were going with. And Jesus, like it's so weird seeing Lesnar back then again. Like what he do. Yeah. Enjoyable. And I've never seen Heyman so involved in a match as
Yeah,
The
well.
table
weird.
bunk, for fuck's sake.
That's something I really like about it that you don't see. I think managers in general in wrestling overall are very underutilized nowadays.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And if they are there, they don't really add or do much. They're usually just there as a mouthpiece, like in case of like Zelina Vega was probably the best manager of recent times, in my opinion, because like she was obviously put with Andrade initially because Andrade couldn't speak English very well. But I think she added to the character as a whole because she would cheat for Andrade. You'd see her whipping out like Hurricane Ranas or like drop kicks on Andrade's opponents while Andrade distracted the ref. And it's just outside of Zelina in recent times, like it's very hard to think of managers who actively get involved to help their like clients per se win. And I think that's something that Paul Heyman is quite good at doing there. Even thinking of modern Paul Heyman, like you wouldn't catch him doing that. Like there's no chance he would have done that with Rock, or even like less chance now with Roman. I think that you'd see it happening.
No, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Like, and it added a lot to the match as well because it was a case like Rock has like a really difficult task as it is trying to like stop Lesnar, and then you have like Paul trying to intervene at every opportunity. He's like, "Will you ever? Right, table will solve this. Just off you fuck, and then deal with the main problem, which is still pretty substantial as things stand. Like, you know, it's just Brock Lesnar, lads. You know, he's not, you know, it's not as if he's a pushover or anything, you know. But
they make it like. They tell a good story because like they're constantly stacking the odds against The Rock, which therefore like implants the idea. It's like, nah, he has to do it. He has to persevere. Like this is the big bad guy. He's gonna have to do it, and they don't. Like, it's one of the rare times where like the babyface does not win. Sorry about you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Babyface never wins at SummerSlam.
Yeah. Yeah, good point, actually. Like, well, it's not WrestleMania. We can get away with this shit.
It's historically to build the WrestleMania.
Yeah. It was always awful because, like, you have SummerSlam, which is like, oh, great, summer holidays, woo. And then, like, bad guy wins at SummerSlam, and then you go back to school in 2 weeks' time. It's like, fuck you, WWE. Fucking ruined my night.
It's nice though. It's good how they set everything up though as well, because then at that point, then you know exactly who's going to win at each pay-per-view, and then WrestleMania is normally the free-for-all where it could go either way.
Yeah, I think
depending on who.
Sorry, go on.
Depending on who wins at the go home Raw, then you more or less you won't know who's actually going to win.
Yeah, the Mania that year is Rock's last one, like as a full-time performer, isn't it?
Yes.
So,
yeah,
because he did. Yeah.
He probably knew at that stage he was leaving, and factoring that in, I think he did a very good job of building Brock up as the next big thing. Pun intended.
Indeed. So now it's time to give our scores. So I'll start off, and again, I thought it was a really simple and effective match. Did exactly what it was supposed to do. So I'm gonna give it an 8. I think it just did the job. That's all I need to do.
Pretentious are you, fucking marking your match first? Like you didn't even let the rest of us go.
Just setting the pace,
so
lads.
rude.
Jesus Christ.
That's so rude.
Well, how about you give your score next, Amy? Then
I'm going Bret Hart 4 out of 10. Like I said, the Bret Hart 4 out of 10.
Oh, Jesus.
There's too much interference. No.
Jesus Christ, I was about to say, like, fucking nuking this match for no reason.
Hence the Bret Hart route.
Yes, of course.
No, I to be fair, actually, I would have been the same. It would have been an 8 out of 10 actually there for me. I enjoy the interference. I prefer like when the heels go over as opposed to the faces. I think it gives it a bit more. It's a bit more of a dynamic into it. Like it's not as predictable as it is, because like you could see the people in the front row every time The Rock was going for it. They were already up, standing, ready to celebrate, and then you can see the disappointment having to sit back down. So like everyone went in thinking Grand Rock's going to win this. Meanwhile, marks who had the internet were like, no, he's going off to shoot Scorpion King, so no, he's not going to win this. Like, but yeah, no, it's a solid 8 out of 10.
Excellent. How about yourself, Foxy?
Yeah, like as I said, in fairness, like it was a lot better than I remembered. Yeah, Heyman added to it, like rather than taking away from it. He didn't interfere too much. Like, but when he did, it was still relatively early on in the match, like in the early part and the middle. He didn't bother with the finish, which was handy enough. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7, like a high 7.
Lovely. And last but certainly not least, Mr. CJ West of Sound, Mind and Body. What did you think of Rock versus Brock?
Oh, that sound
You're
buddy.
not
My
being
body's always in
coerced.
bits.
I just
We
want to
don't
help
need
you
to know
out,
what you
man.
get up to on the weekend, okay?
Um,
Whatever you do in your personal business, it's your business, dude, okay? You don't need to explain yourself. It's a safe space.
Yes.
I'm going to
you're
get
amongst
the little
friends
black
here.
book of kinks.
This is my safe space saloon.
Yes. Please call it that from now on.
Never call that ever again. Never call it.
For me, like I think it's an 8 as well. The one thing, like as opposed to talking about it has, because I think you guys have covered it. For me, what's missing is I feel like both Rock and Brock have had better matches. I like matches that go in that 15-minute time period. I think 15 minutes is honestly the ideal time for a like wrestling match. That's supposed to be a big match, because 15 to 18, it's long, but it's not too long. So timing was on point. As I said, I really like the manager interference. It's Paul Heyman at his peak as a manager, in my opinion. And Rock, phenomenal selling. Like, as I said, like he doesn't do too much, but everything he does, like, it makes you want to believe in him. And then Brock the whole time is just like looking dominant and looking like a monster. I think, as I said, did a good job of building Brock up to be the star that we now know he is. So 8 to summarize.
Jonathan.
Delightful.
Oh.
So yeah, that weighs up to be a 31 starting off. So that's how we're setting the pace down for the rest of the show, which handily brings us down to the pick of our guest, Mr. CJ West. So tell us about this match here that you've chosen.
Okay, so my match is Matt Riddle versus Mike Speedball Bailey from OTT. I think is it Outer Space Odyssey 3 or Vendetta? I know it was one of the last.
It is Vendetta.
Vendetta, thank you. But I remember watching this match with Callum Black, who is like one of my best friends in real life. But we were good friends, but I kind of feel like we really bonded over this match. Like if you watch the background of this match, like watch Through the Ropes, you can see us. We're ringside the whole match.
I remember, yeah.
And we're talking about everything that's happening, and we're just like, oh, holy crap! I think this Speedball's first time over as well.
At least second time.
I'll be honest, actually, this I'm just noticing you said that this brought you and Callum closer together. This nearly destroyed mine and Ali's relationship.
Why?
because she was cheering for Speedball and I wasn't. See, that's thing that me and Ali do.
I think
that's what me and Ali used to do, though.
Yeah.
But that was
she cheer one and I cheer the other.
That was like tops. I think it could have been the first time that Speedball was over, or it was one of the first times anyway. And I remember him being a guy who I was like, I'd seen a lot of him in like old CZW and things like that, but I'd never really gotten a chance to see him up close. And I just remember being completely out. And this is also when Riddle is kind of on his tear of the indies, like where he's pretty much king of the indies at this stage. Like he is untouchable in terms of like he's gaining popularity everywhere he goes. He's champion everywhere around this time. And overall, as I said, like just talking backwards and forwards with Callum through the whole match, like the two of us just mark out major. Like watching this, like it's really good wrestling. Like it's two completely different styles that meet together and just make a masterpiece, in my opinion.
Right, yeah, fair shout. Again, it's OTT, so it always seems to get good points from us anyway. So it's a shrewd choice, Jim. I'll have to say, always works. Always seems to work on this show. So yeah, whenever you're ready, we all have the link up, I believe. So whenever you're ready, count us in.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, play.
Go. Let's do it.
Elite.
Yeah, I just did kind of. I believe I was on the stage for this show, and yeah, like one remark like I always keep remembering was that just like watching the ring crew just like physically just rubbing their chest, like fuck. Even I'm feeling that like.
Oh my god, I'm already drunk in this.
When are you not? Honestly, answer me that. When if
Some entertainment then.
I'm fairly sure myself and Callum we're on the opposite side to the projector.
Oh,
Yeah, you can see us.
Right. I know now why this is why Ali was so pissed at me, because I think this is when Steve Ball's head was between my legs and she was freaked at me. I think that's what it was. And it was also our 4th year anniversary. It wasn't Vendetta. We were well off on what show this was.
Remember the Tivoli?
oh man, this is like anything else.
Yeah, I fucking miss it. Like,
Oh, fun fact by the way. See that hat that Riddle is wearing?
Yeah.
Jerry bought that off him.
no way.
Yeah, honestly, after the show, like Jerry said, like, "Here, I want that. Can I have that hat?" I said, and Riddle sold it to him for like 15-20 quid or whatever it was.
I'm still so very disturbed that neither of them are wearing shoes.
That upsets me still.
It's honestly, lads.
Worried me as well. I was like, how can, I think I said it Butch as well. I was like, how can they not wear fucking shoes? Like,
In the Tivoli as well.
That's what my issue is with. It's the fact that it's in the Tivoli, and like, mate, even when they clean that place, that floor is still sticky. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Like you could have easily caught a Faruqa off that floor. Beast.
I think you catch more than a Faruqa.
Yeah, I'm being generous there, to be fair.
Foxy, I'm going to have a discussion here about your hair again.
Yeah,
yes, I'd so, yeah.
Every single time your hair comes up, it's a different hairstyle. So we're doing well at what matches, like what years.
What's peak Foxy hair, and why is it green Joker Foxy hair?
No,
I think I told the story about this before.
Yes.
Yeah, like the day that this was happening. So not this show in particular, but the day that I was getting my hair dyed green, I had messaged Joe and I had explained to him, I'm getting my hair dyed, I'm letting you know, is that gonna be a problem? And he said no.
He's not fucking Vince McMahon, for God's sakes. Why are you asking him permission? You're independent.
It's just like I still like I want to keep on good terms. Like I don't want to piss him off unnecessarily on a show day. But
I'd fuck with him so much to the extent I'd be fired after 2 days.
But obviously, I get my hair dyed and I show up in the Tivoli, and obviously, you know where the entrance is, like the back entrance.
Sorry.
No, Foxy.
Amy, you need to clean your act up. Tisk.
Do you know what? You're actually gonna find out I'm the filthiest one on this.
Well,
this was like every time we record, Jim. This is par for the fucking course. Like
it starts off really, really small, and then eventually you're talking about like. Actually, no, I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, I thought that. Yeah. Foxy.
I was about to, and I went, no, I better not. Anyway, so you're asking Joe permission to dye your hair?
Yeah, I get the okay. But I arrive at the Tivoli, and a couple of people are at the ring. I'm shaking their hands. They see the hair. But as I'm walking, Joe's up at the sound desk, and I just hear the story of people like, they're just watching me from the ring, the ringside area, walk up, because they want to see what way Joe reacts to this fucking thing. And when I walk up to the sound desk now, the wall for it comes up to about here of me.
Yeah.
So Joe can only see the top of my head and my eyes. So it's like, pal, what you doing to me? That's the reaction I get. Little does he know that if I was to move back, you would see a green beard as well. Like musky beard. So after he was done, like just lamenting the sorrow of like green hair referee.
Yes.
I turn around. Fabulous Nikki hands me an electric razor. So I go into the bathroom, shave off the beard as well.
Oh, Jesus.
But rep the show with full on green hair. So, and I
respect that.
couldn't see that
Yeah.
on demand. So
To answer the question, oh, Christ. As you fucking do, lads.
But like, it's a nice fucking story to fucking tell.
Yeah.
What makes me chuckle is the fact that like lads were just watching to see what the reaction would be.
Yeah.
That's fucking amazing. Like,
To answer your question about what peak Foxy is, I think it's this. It's the goatee and it's the ponytail because you end up looking like the main guy from the Curse of Monkey Island.
Yes, you look. You're fucking Guybrush Threepwood.
Yeah. I said that to I remember saying that to Linda like years ago, showing her a picture of him, and he was going like, I'm not showing that to fuck. No, I'm not. And he never talked to me again.
Kicks. And you would think like, alright, he's doing it really fast, like they're gonna be weak kicks. No, they're not.
No. They hit like you see.
Like,
No, yeah. It's just like I'm actually remembering. You could hear every fucking kick that this.
Like it's between this and the
This
match
gone.
that Riddle
This
was having
gone,
with
man.
Wiley, that you just like they're just knocking lumps out of each other. You can hear
No
absolutely
one
fucking
spoke
everything.
during that
Yeah.
match. There weren't even people cheering in that match. Everyone was just watching the match, expecting a murder.
Oh,
Springboard moonsault to the outside from the second.
There's been a murder. There's been a murder.
The amount of people who ended up mangled over those blue chairs over the years.
Sorry, say that again.
I'm just saying the amount of people who ended up mangled over those blue chairs over the years.
talk about
I'm one of them. I'm one of them.
Oi. Oh,
Because you fuckers never got there quick enough.
There's like half a meter worth of room on any side of the ring there. It's very
There was
hard to
one-
move around that ring with pace.
I will actually say, I'm nearly sure it might have been. No, it wasn't this show. Was it this show? It wasn't this show. Hogan did have a match on this. Oh no, I have the limp. Yeah, no, I have the limp, so I would have been on crutches on this one.
Yes.
So this actually would have been the show. This actually was the show that Logan Bryce tore my ACL
You tore your
From that-
ACL.
from landing, from accidentally going over the rope when you don't think he intended it to happen. You think he just got whipped so hard he actually went over because he was apologising. But I was already on crutches for this show because I'd done my knee in. So Al, who was next to me, pulled my injured leg out of the way, and then my healthy leg tore the ACL.
Oh
It wasn't completely torn, but it was torn enough that I had to take time off work to have to go and get it seen to and assessed. And I still have not gotten that surgery for either of my knees at this point.
I was wondering why you kept squeaking every time we were recording in the house. I didn't want to say anything, but I just thought like it was a thing you were doing.
Do you not remember? Did I not send? I think I'm nearly sure I sent you. I played you the sounds that my knees make when I bend them. It's all you can hear. It's just the
did, but I
cartilage
just
just
blocked it
grind
out.
on. Like, it's just the cartilage. It's just the bone grinding on itself. Like it's horrible.
Oh,
This is horrible.
Tickets were hard to come by here in the Tivoli. Maybe he wants to take a seat now that he's in.
You sick bastard.
I don't get it. What's wrong with them? This is great.
It's in the black
Deadlift.
book of case. It's one
course
of those things.
that deadlift scared the hell out of me because like if he messed up,
Oh, there's Ma. Oh, I miss seeing Ma.
It's your man in the Young Bucks shirt, just like his like just ever
The
slightly. Yeah. Save the
Yeah,
points,
that's
save
Ma.
the points.
Oh, I love Ma. He's so sweet.
Hey! Jeez, I think maybe I wasn't on the stage for this. I must have been in the crowd. So.
I hate it.
Jesus.
This is one of the reasons why the count had to be changed to a 20.
Yeah,
Is that why you had to learn to count to 20? Is that why you're so upset over this?
that was a long Christmas. 10, 13. Fuck!
Watch him pull that arm across.
Wow.
1, 2, 10.
The only way.
Most of
77.
I had that was Which match was it? I think it was Ray Horse and
Splinter City here for Bailey.
For a second there, I thought Justy was sitting in the crowd in one of his gymnasty t-shirts. It's actually not him. It's just a bloke with a beard and longish hair.
The thing that's always weird to me here is how many runners there are there compared to now.
Yeah.
Like there isn't that many runners now.
That's because like everyone was like trying to get onto shows. So they were like,
Just trying to get in for the
okay,
tivity,
what
that's
show?
all. Like,
I get
I'll
into
take
the
a
show for free.
to be fair, how much of the crowd would happily take a free bump or a bump for a free ticket? Like, let's be fair.
Speedball.
Oh,
Springboard drop kick to the face.
I mean, those ropes are like they're not nice to bounce on anyway. They don't
energy.
I think these are still the rope ropes before we replace them with the cable ropes.
Square on his jaw.
Nah, dude,
Brace yourself for that.
And we had rope ropes for
Speedball going for
the early part, like scattered in between, but we mainly dealt. Oh yeah, shoulder. Ouch.
That's it, yeah. I thought the exact same thing. I
You
thought,
can
oh,
stuff that, like CJ, can't you?
I love shoulder injuries.
Yeah, and I'm so sorry about that.
Nobody home.
It's not your fault.
No, do you remember this show up in Belfast and I thumped you in the shoulder?
Yeah.
And straight away you were like, "That's still injured, Amy." I'm so sorry. So instead of just walking away in my shame, I just turned around and I punched the other arm.
was that what happened when like Osprey had his fucked shoulder? He was doing the conga. And
Yes, someone kept banging me. He was like, "It's
Barry,
fucking
fucking Barry, tapping the shoulder. It's just like, stop doing that, mate. Oh, I'm sorry. Fuck's sake.
On the head and neck of Bailey was the exquisite bridge.
Oh, good old Barry.
The thing I was admired about these two guys is like no matter what show they were on, they'd always go and give it like 100%, like 110 everything. Like it
It's
didn't
like
matter.
between them and Keith Lee, just always had barnstormers. Like
Yeah.
it just
Oh, I love Keith Lee so much.
Keith Lee and OTT were a marriage made in fucking heaven. Honestly,
Basically what he felt there was
like just from the first show, the man just fucking got it. Like he got OTT.
The man stood in the corner and chatted to the front row for like 20 minutes
Yeah.
before he turned to us and went, "I better actually do something in the match now."
hooks him.
And that was it. He was gone. I was like, "I'm sold. This man is a god."
Yeah.
And then in the ringside club when he just sang on the apron, we're like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I will. Yes."
Thought he had him, Don.
Him and Swerve.
This was on
Thought he had him.
Riddle's rise in terms of the indies, so he was the bigger name.
Yeah.
Like Speedball was known, but like in regards to OTT, like he was only there once, maybe twice. So people didn't really take notice of him. I don't think until his match with Keith Lee.
Yeah, I think the Keith Lee
At
one was
that
the
match, that's when
game
people were
changer.
like, Speedball is deadly. Like we have to watch him. Like, we all know.
I will actually say this. Ali jumped on the Speedball train straight away. From the moment she saw him, she was like, "Yes, that's the horse I'm fucking backing on this." And she never bet against him. Like
it's good.
Unbelievable.
Like it's good seeing like people like that are really good at what they do, but at the same time, like it's that irritation of, alright, I have to get this particular spot in, have to get this,
There's no
like
way
all
Bailey
these
can take any more
specific
of these
spots
Yeah.
that they have to get in, and it's just like you don't need it for every show. You really don't. We seen you last month. We know what you can do.
Yeah.
yeah, but that's one of those things though as well. Like we've seen them do it last month. We kind of expect it now. Like that's the shitty thing about fans, and I'm saying this about myself. Like it's like when they do stuff that's completely like just over the top and it absolutely blows your mind. You kind of expect that then every single time. And that's why I think it kind of like when someone does decide, okay, let's actually like take a step back here and have like a normal type of match, like sort of thing, and then you're like, oh, that was kind of shit. Like people like it is a shit way of doing it. Like
Oh, wow.
Don't shoot, like, don't do everything.
Right in there.
Jesus.
These are the nastiest impacts
That's
we
not
have
nice.
seen to the
But
head.
That's how
I
my
see your
brother
point
broke
though,
my
in a
neck.
sense, because
Except
you're
he was
you're
doing
kind
it
of
on
looking
a
at
razor's edge. Like,
Loving it. This is what these two men live and breathe for.
because you're kind of looking and thinking like, oh, maybe I want
Look at the
like.
faces of the crowd, though,
Because
Dom. They can't
well, we
believe
kind of,
shit.
I've certainly made the joke about the Kings of the North, and they had. I love their matches in the Tivoli because, like in essence, it's the same match. It's they them up against a 6-man team, and you just like go hell for leather and like beat the piss out of everything and destroy everything, and that's great. Like if you melt it down to those bare bones, it sounds very repetitive, but it doesn't feel repetitive because like they're just having it just is great crack when they're doing it, you know, the kind of way. And okay, maybe it has a lot to do with the fact like, oh, the theme song hits and you go, oh well, here's the Kings of the North match, lads. Fucking let's have a crack, like let's get the points in, you know. So it depends.
get the points, get the fingers up, and we're ready to go.
Tickety bam, like, and that's what it is. Like, it's just that it gets you in the mood immediately, and then like, you know, oh, there's a Kings of the North match, job done. And it's like, well, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it? We all had a lovely time.
Like with the Kings of the North, I love both of them. Like they're very good. It's just that repetitiveness is also to their detriment and bad thing as well.
Yes, that definitely.
Because it kind of puts you off. Like, what else can you do with them then? After you've seen them month in, month out. Like, okay, we're bringing in Guerrillas of Destiny.
What is this?
Yeah.
What are we even watching?
Like, the only real tag team you can put them against is probably Kings, but you're gonna get the same old match.
Definitely, yeah.
So
And that's the problem. That was the trouble in the end, was that you eventually ran out of opponents, and you were just having the same match over and over again.
Yeah.
That was my favorite meet and greet ever.
Hello.
No,
there we go.
Lands it, double
I
knees.
love you so much for doing that.
Happy to help.
He turned onto his side, but then he got both knees right to the ribs.
Like this, like the cardio on both of them.
Yeah.
Able to
He did a
go.
full contact.
And this was in the middle of the show, I recall, wasn't it? Like, this is like the match before the Angel Cruise match. Like this is the one we have a bit of crack with.
Shooting
How about that?
shooting star into the triangle.
Shoot
And
star
right, the
into
foot's
the
under the knee. Fully
triangle.
locked in. The foot's under the knee. Elbows from the top to soften him up further. Watch him pull the arm across.
Oof,
Right on
Jesus.
that carotid. Oh, that's deep.
What does be
It's
scary
deep,
is when you
Don.
go back and actually
he's
have a
gonna
look
go. He's
at
gonna go asleep. Oh
like,
no!
the difference
Transition the armbar.
in Matt Mulkey, like for OTT.
He made it to the ropes.
Like,
I mean, just unbelievable.
Boy, stumps.
Instinct alone
like,
for Bailey. Oh God!
You
don't
go
do
from
it.
having like
come on, man.
our
I hate that
lads,
Oh,
song.
this is
and
this is
then
very difficult
with
to watch
certain
now.
imports starting to mix it up. Like obviously, like you had the likes of P1 and Ryan Smile, like trying to make us step up our game, but also at the same time, like the quality of indie stars that we're getting over, like
Yeah.
over here, and actually giving them a platform to really get over.
That was it, like, yeah.
Like by just letting them go. Matt Riddle, Speedball, they're definitely examples of that. Keith Lee. We always served as a fucking like we're the last big step before they go to bigger pastures kind of thing.
It was kind of like a Kingmaker setup because, like, the thing about, like, within the year, like, Riddle was signed and Keith Lee was signed and Strickland was signed. Like, the pattern was so incredible. And let's be fair here, like, all three of them deserve it. You make an argument that some people may have got it too early, but those lads didn't. They were ready to go. Like, they had done everything they needed to do. You know.
Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh, fucking lord.
They killed him. That's it.
That one actually bothered me a little bit that we only ever got Kyle O'Reilly once before he signed.
Yes.
But technically, actually, he'd already signed by the time he actually was doing the matches. I think he did the one match.
Sorry, I'm just laughing because like I did a reaction and I actually did the exact same.
You did the exact same reaction. You did the exact same reaction.
I'm like, oh no.
Creature of habit, there, Foxy.
No, this is just genuine, just like reaction because it looked like a fucking horror.
Yeah.
And it still does. It still looks like a fucking herd.
The gas thing is, like, you kind of say Kyle O'Reilly was that one as well, but Chris Hero was a big one too. Like, had he not signed, like he would have been such a mainstay for so many months, like, and he would have been having these type of matches too, like.
It is very difficult.
It's unfortunate because like there is a good few that I would have loved to have.
Disbelief. 550 pairs of eyes.
As you said, like a mainstay will or be a bigger player in the grand scheme of it. And like you could have very good matches possibly.
Yeah.
Like, if you had Hero, you mix him up with some of the best of the indies or some of our own. God damn, like imagine Chris Hero with the likes of Callum Black.
I'd love.
That would be
yes.
That's actually his dream match, believe it or
Dream
not.
match.
I'd
love
That's
him
his
in
dream
matches.
match above everything else.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just like I think that he'd be the best talent to fucking
broken by Riddle.
or Callum.
Yeah.
Escapes the knee. Oh, another huge head.
Because like we all know how good Callum is, but like you put him in there with someone who like who will definitely like elevate you. God damn, like you're in for a fucking treat then.
Absolutely, yeah. Again, like once we do come back, we'll be needing new stars. So those are the matches you want to have. You want to have those kind of like breakout matches. So absolutely, I'd love to see that.
Oh God! He's broken his jaw.
I agree with my
One of
comments.
me was the finish of all things. Like it's just all the stuff that they hit each other with, and it was not me.
But that's
This
the
match
thing
started
is, though,
with
like,
Canadian Destroyers, to be fair.
you don't expect though that to be the finish, and that's what kind of takes. That's what you're like. That's what did him in. Like that's yes.
The speed of it.
On. Unintentional fun there.
Yes.
Personally, I like that match.
Oh no, we liked it. We
Yes.
like this.
When it comes to Matt Riddle, believe
The thing for me, it's like I think it's a very good clash of styles. Like I said at the start, they do kind of like a lot of.
And that's when Speedball's head was between my legs. Sorry. Sorry, I just. It's only because I can notice myself, and I'll keep looking.
Yeah. So overall, a mid-day for Amy, torn ACL, but Mike Bailey, it's you know.
Do you know what? He
line,
made
you
it
know.
worth it. Do you know what? Yeah, Speedball made up for that, and he stole my water actually.
Bitch.
Dick. Yeah, so that was alright.
I don't even know what to say.
This is why we warn people that Amy will go off on a tangent, and yes, I did talk about myself in the third person.
Oh goodness.
Okay.
Yeah, so
yeah, like that.
what's your thoughts on that match?
Loved it. It's a fucking barnstormer, like.
I think it's one when people talk about the best matches in OTT. For me, for a long time, that was the best match for a very, very long time, and it always flew under people's radars. I think it's one like people always say the who is it? Pete Dunne and Chris Hero from Galway flies under a lot of people's radars, but I kind of feel like that's brought up so much now that it doesn't fly under the radar, if you get me.
Yeah.
But I still feel like that match flies under the radar because that was like you were saying. Like I disagree. I don't think the Keith Lee match made Bailey. I think this match made Bailey, and then the Keith Lee match just took him to that next level to where he got to the point where he could be arguably the MVP in OTT. I do think this was like a star making. They were already both stars, but I think it was a star making performance for Bailey, especially in this. Like he was selling his pants off. He was going blow for blow at Riddle as well throughout the match. I think I had like the right ebb and flow for like at the start they do like that bit of like it's Riddle's trying to wrestle him and Bailey's trying to strike him, beat him down the whole time. It's just the conflicting styles till eventually they're like, all right, we're kind of at a stalemate here. It goes to the brawl to the outside where it's like neither man really has the upper hand, and you see like Bailey's trying to strike him. They end up on the stage. Riddle starts wrestling them, putting in the arm bars and things like that. And then over the course of the match, it just evolves into like, all right, now I've tried wrestling you. I've tried striking you. I'm going to try really wrestle you. I'm going to hit you with my heavy hitting moves. Okay, well, I'm going to counter with my heavy hitting strikes. Like,
yeah,
until it eventually gets the finish, which ironically is a Riddle strike.
No, you're right. Like, I'm willing to accept that. Like, that's like, I did actually do. I did think that like it was the Keith Lee and Speedball like that really like just had him there. Like got people's attention. But yeah, you are like upon looking at it, like again, because it's been so long, I can definitely see why, like yourself or someone else would think like, no, this was definitely like the star-making performance for him.
Yeah.
You can hear it. You can hear it in the crowd. Like when that match started, everyone was singing "Bro." Like that was everyone went in backing Matt Riddle on that one. But then halfway through the match, not even halfway through it, near the start, you can hear people turning, and then you do hear the divide on that one. And it does, like in times like that, it does actually make you kind of, okay, I'm going to step back here for a second and actually watch this chap and see what it is he can do. Yeah. Because when he came back then after that, he was like, he had, where was it? It was it was a title match he had in OTT. Oh, yes. And even then you knew who everyone was following going into the match, but then it was still quite split when the cheers happened, because the extent was a lot of people thought he actually won that match, like he was going to win that match. That was, and
I think
myself,
he's a great underdog is this thing that people don't give him enough credit for. Like he's very good at fighting from underneath and winning the crowd over, like which kind of like amplifies your point there, I think.
He does. He actually does that so well.
So in that case, James, you want to set us the pace here? What score would you give this match?
I'm giving it a 10. I'll never change my mind on it. It's anything but a 10.
I know it's controversial, I know, but yes, it's fair to say.
It's the match I picked, but I don't care. Like I'm giving it a 10. For me, it still is like it's. And when I think of an OTT, what's my favorite OTT match? I think that one every single time. Even still, like there are matches that have had like shifted wrestling, like the ground landscape of wrestling a lot more in terms of OTT. But for me, it's always that one. That was the one where I was like, holy shit, these guys are good. That's the level I want to get to. Like,
yeah. No, that's good. That's
Schoolboy on the VOD, so you can tell you're enjoying it just as much as you did at the time.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's one of those things that when you're watching back matches like this, it's like you want to have the same feeling as when you saw it the first time.
Yeah.
Is to make sure you still have that same feeling each time you watch it. And I think, like that's what my pick does. So like I can agree with a 10 on it. I'm not going to give it a 10.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 9. I'd give it a 9 on that one because the person I wanted to win did not win. So, like, I'm
this
very.
Is a great match, but my guy didn't win, so fuck your. Pick.
My guy, my person was not scripted to win, so fuck you and the horse you rode in on.
But I'm not now.
But I mean, this is a competition, but no, I'd give it a 9. Well, in a sense, I give this one a 9 purely because I think the match that he had with Kyle O'Reilly that to me is the 10 match.
So that's in my logic as well a little bit, because I always remember like when I compared it to these two matches, the Kyle O'Reilly match just stands out that little bit more.
Yeah,
I think it is because like the crowd just so ensnared in the match, they can't hit each other that hard yet. No, they are actually hitting themselves that hard. Yeah. And because I just remember there's one moment in that match where like I think it's Kyle O'Reilly just smacks fucking Riddle across the legs, and then there isn't like a ooh or an ah. You just hear people go, Jesus Christ! Like
it's like it's yeah. So that was like that match. That one to me would be the 10, whereas this one is the 9. It's up there, but it's missing just one little thing.
Yes, I think that's in my thinking as well. So like, if again, I think this match is brilliant. It's just in that like it's in that bracket of like fucking like matches that the Tivoli had and only the Tivoli had. Like you can only capture that atmosphere there, like along with like 30 other matches in the Tivoli. In fairness, they had a great run. So yeah, it's in my thinking like that as well. So I'm going to give it a very high 8.5, because it's just a lovely match. And again, it's one of those things where like. It makes compilations for a reason, that it's in like it's mentioned all the time. Like, well, I suppose like hence why you've kind of picked it. It's not mentioned all the time, but like it should be. It is a brilliant match.
Yeah.
By all accounts. Just yourself now, Foxy. How about yourself? You were there.
I know.
You felt the kicks.
Do you remember it, Foxy?
We were all there.
I'm giving that an 8. Like I'm keeping that high because like fucking like watching back on it, it's really good back and forward, especially with the styles that they have. My only detriment is from my perspective of like a referee. Like certain things is just like, no, this could have been tightened up a little bit more. But that'd be the only gripe about it.
Yeah.
No, like a high 8 though. It's a very fucking good match. It really is.
I know we're only
So
2 matches in, but Jesus Christ, these are very high scoring matches. This was
yeah,
this was a good fucking gimmick for today's show. These are actually quite high scores.
I seen the
it
rumbles,
is.
and I was like, oh, we have to do something with actual like good matches.
Sir, how dare you? My Rumble match has not been seen yet. You don't
Yes.
know what I've picked.
This is it.
Yeah.
Like, do not judge the Katie Harvey one by its cover. We did the 2001
You will judge the fuck out of my one though.
I
My
can
sir.
just hear like Kevin Hart going, I wasn't ready.
So in any case, that leaves so Riddle Speedball gives you a score of 35.5, which is comfortably ahead of mine. So you're currently leading Jim at the moment. So in that case, let's move on to Amy's pick.